Did you know there are entire countries where holding a U.S. passport won't help you at all? In fact, in 2026, Americans are completely blocked from entering certain nations. No visas, no tourist trips, no exceptions. From North Korea's closed borders to new bans in places like Yemen and Chad, these travel restrictions reveal a shocking reality about global politics. Stay with me, because by the end of this countdown you'll see exactly which countries are off-limits for Americans and why these bans exist. Before starting the video, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real and valuable content. Number 10. North Korea. North Korea is a country of mystery, with its grand military parades, disciplined culture, and a deep history that stretches back thousands of years. For many, the idea of visiting Pyongyang or seeing the untouched landscapes of the Korean peninsula feels like stepping into a hidden world. But now, for Americans, this door is completely closed. Since 2017, the U.S. government has made all American passports invalid for travel to North Korea, except in very rare cases where special permission is granted. This ban is still in effect for 2026. The reason is serious. Americans risk arbitrary arrest, long detentions, and the U.S. has no embassy inside North Korea to provide help. Even humanitarian or journalistic trips require hard-to-get special validation. For everyday travelers, tourism is not possible. While the country remains fascinating from afar, for U.S. citizens, North Korea is not just dangerous, it's legally out of reach. And if you think North Korea is tough, wait until you see the next country, where history and danger collide in a very different way. Number 9. Iran. Iran is a land of incredible beauty, with its ancient Persian history, stunning mosques, and world-famous hospitality. Its bazaars, deserts, and cuisine attract visitors from all over the globe who want to experience a culture that has shaped human civilization for millennia. But now, for Americans, traveling here comes with severe risks. The U.S. State Department rates Iran level 4. Do not travel, warning of terrorism, unrest, and most importantly, the wrongful detention of U.S. citizens. Iran does not recognize dual nationality, which means Iranian Americans can be treated as only Iranian, blocking U.S. consular help. Arrests, interrogations, and even long prison terms have been reported. While technically visas can sometimes be obtained, the real danger is what happens after entry. Exit bans, surveillance, and detention are real possibilities. In 2026, Iran remains one of the most high-risk destinations for Americans, where a simple visit could turn into a nightmare. But Iran is not alone. Up next is a country in Africa where even basic safety for Americans has completely collapsed. Number 8. Libya. Libya once held promise as a gateway to North Africa, with stunning Roman ruins like Leptis Magna, beautiful Mediterranean coastline, and a culture influenced by centuries of trade across the desert and the sea. Its history as part of the Roman, Ottoman, and Islamic worlds is nothing short of remarkable. But now, for U.S. citizens, Libya is a country marked as do not travel. Civil war, armed militias, terrorism, and kidnappings have made it one of the most unstable places on earth. The U.S. Embassy in Tripoli has long been closed, and consular services are extremely limited, handled instead from Tunisia. Violent clashes can erupt without warning, and Westerners are at particular risk of being targeted. Even if a visa were possible, safe movement inside the country is nearly impossible without armed protection. For 2026, Libya remains not just unsafe, but effectively inaccessible for ordinary Americans hoping to explore it. And believe it or not, the next country on this list is facing chaos of a completely different kind, one that directly threatens visitors the moment they land. Number 7. Myanmar, Burma. Myanmar, with its awe-inspiring temples of Bagan, peaceful Inal Lake, and vibrant Buddhist heritage, has long been a dream destination for culture-loving travelers and history buffs alike. But now, the U.S. Department of State classifies Myanmar as Level 4. Do not travel, due to armed conflict, civil unrest, landmines, and widespread risk of arbitrary detention. Since the 2021 military coup, fighting between the junta and multiple armed groups has made security extremely volatile. Explosive devices have been detonating monthly in Yangon, and mines remain hidden throughout regions like Shan, Chin, and Kachin. Healthcare infrastructure is weak, and the U.S. government warns that it has very limited ability to assist Americans in case of emergency. The next country on our list shows how instability can turn a proud coast into one of the world's most dangerous places for Americans. Number 6. Somalia. Somalia, with its stunning Indian Ocean coastline and rich cultural traditions, was once a hub of trade and poetry in the Horn of Africa. Its seafaring legacy still echoes through its historic ports and nomadic culture. But now, Somalia is one of the riskiest places on Earth for American travelers. The U.S. has imposed strict travel restrictions, with the country marked Level 4, Do Not Travel. The threats include terrorism from al-Shabaab, widespread violent crime, piracy along the coast, and frequent kidnappings targeting foreigners. In fact, in 2025, U.S. Embassy staff were forced to suspend movements in Mogadishu due to credible terror threats, and airlines halted flights. There is little government control outside the capital, meaning law and order break down quickly. Even humanitarian workers face abductions. For Americans, traveling here not only means danger, it also means almost no chance of rescue or protection. The next country will shock you. It's a land of ancient pyramids now torn apart by war. Number 5. Sudan. Sudan is a land of deep history, home to more pyramids than Egypt, the mighty Nile River, and diverse communities that have flourished for thousands of years. Its cultural heritage once made it a fascinating destination for explorers and history lovers. But now, Sudan has collapsed into a devastating civil war. Since April 2023, fighting between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces has plunged the nation into chaos. The U.S. State Department lists Sudan at Level 4, Do Not Travel, citing risks of armed conflict, looting, kidnappings, and humanitarian collapse. The U.S. Embassy in Khartoum has been closed, leaving Americans without consular protection. Infrastructure is in ruins, hospitals are overwhelmed, and millions have fled into neighboring countries as refugees. For Americans, the dangers are immediate and severe. Gunfire, checkpoints, and lawlessness dominate daily life. Number 4. Haiti. Haiti, the first independent Black republic in the world, is a nation rich in history, vibrant culture, and stunning landscapes. Its colorful art, lively music, and festivals reflect centuries of resilience and creativity. Travelers once admired its lush mountains, tropical beaches, and historic sites like Citadelle La Ferrière, a UNESCO World Heritage fortress that stands as a symbol of Haitian independence and pride. But now, Haiti is one of the most dangerous countries for Americans. The U.S. State Department ranks it Level 4. Do not travel due to rampant gang violence, kidnappings, civil unrest, and political instability. In 2025, gang activity surged in Port-au-Prince, blocking roads, attacking civilians, and even targeting foreigners. Essential services like hospitals, transportation, and law enforcement are unreliable, leaving travelers vulnerable. U.S. authorities warn that Americans may face abduction or violent crime with minimal chance of rescue. Embassies provide limited assistance, and evacuation is extremely difficult. What was once a beautiful Caribbean destination is now largely inaccessible and perilous for U.S. citizens. Number 3. Cuba. Cuba is world-renowned for its vibrant culture, historic architecture, and rhythmic music that echoes through Havana's streets. Its colorful colonial buildings, classic cars, and tropical landscapes make it a fascinating destination steeped in revolutionary history and Caribbean charm. Tourists once flocked to enjoy the island's beaches, historic sites, and friendly communities. But now, Americans cannot visit Cuba for tourism. The U.S. maintains strict travel restrictions under the embargo, allowing only authorized travel categories like educational, journalistic, or humanitarian visits. Tourist visits remain prohibited, and violations can lead to fines or legal action. Financial transactions, including banking and credit card use, are limited, and flights are restricted. Even when travel is technically allowed under licenses, visitors face significant bureaucratic hurdles. For 2026, Cuba remains largely off-limits to ordinary Americans, and casual tourism is effectively illegal. Number 2. Yemen. Yemen is a country of ancient civilizations, historic cities like Sana'a, dramatic mountains, and stunning deserts. Its rich Islamic architecture, fragrant markets, and Arabian heritage once drew travelers eager to explore one of the Arabian Peninsula's oldest cultures. But now, Yemen is extremely dangerous for Americans. The U.S. State Department lists it as Level 4. Do not travel due to ongoing armed conflict, terrorism, kidnapping, civil unrest, and collapsing infrastructure. Multiple extremist groups, including AQAP and ISIS, operate freely, while the Houthi movement controls much of the country. Hospitals, roads, and airports are severely disrupted, and the U.S. Embassy has been closed for years, leaving citizens without protection. Violent incidents, including bombings and attacks on civilians, occur frequently. Humanitarian access is extremely limited, and travelers risk being caught in combat zones or abducted. For U.S. citizens, Yemen is not just unsafe, it is effectively a no-go zone. Number 1. Chad. Chad is a land of deserts, savannas, and unique cultures blending Arab and African traditions. Lake Chad, the Sahara's edges, and the Zakuma National Park showcase its natural beauty and wildlife. The country has a rich history of trade, music, and festivals, reflecting centuries of civilization in Central Africa. But now, Chad is dangerous and largely inaccessible for Americans. The U.S. State Department classifies it Level 4. Do not travel, citing armed conflict, terrorism, kidnapping, and civil unrest. Groups linked to Boko Haram and regional militias threaten security, particularly in eastern regions. Travel infrastructure is limited, and U.S. consular support is minimal. Attacks on civilians and foreigners are frequent, and airports and roads are often unsafe or closed without warning. Even short visits carry extreme risk, and evacuation in emergencies is highly challenging. Though Chad's landscapes remain beautiful, the country is effectively off-limits for U.S. citizens in 2026 due to security threats. Those were the 10 countries Americans cannot enter in 2026. From political unrest to active war zones, these travel bans highlight how unpredictable the world can be. Always check official travel advisories before planning your trip and stay informed to stay safe. If you found this countdown eye-opening, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on travel and global news. You won't want to miss our next video.